Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to episode 77 of Why Did I Buy This? This series started as a way to help my crafters find unique ways to use the products that they have in their collections. It's also a great series for new crafters who are wondering, how do I get started? What do I need? You're going to be able to see lots of projects during these series. And if you're new here, make sure you go into my video library because I actually have all 76 episodes saved that you can go back and watch. There's lots and lots of project ideas. I never repeat a project idea. So usually I do 3 projects per episode or more, and there's 77 episodes. So 7 times 3, 77 times 3. I don't know, it's a lot. We have lots of projects. So anyway, my name is Lindsay. I am the team leader of Cloud9 Stampers. I have been a Stampin Up demonstrator now for almost 19 years. In the spring, it'll be 19 years. And I love my job. I love to teach. I love technique, so I love to get to share that with you. So today is going to be an amazing episode. We're working with something that I really love, so it's been fun to get to play with them. Oh, hello, Kathy, Deanna, Bev. Hi, gang. How are you? Yeah, so Friday, I'm just noticing my hair is sticking up all over the place. This is what happens when you don't look in the mirror before you go live. You guys still love me, right? Okay, little story. I got married on December 30th of 2000. So I've been married a long time now. And because we got married in December, the theme of our wedding was snowflakes. So, you know, you could pick hearts or leaves or whatever, depending on the theme. My theme was snowflakes. So all my invitations and decor, that kind of thing, had snowflakes on them. I even hand sewed 200 miniature stockings and then stuffed them with chocolates and like a little donation receipt for all my guests, and they all had snowflakes on them. So whenever I see snowflakes, it makes me think of my wedding, and that's always a nice thing to remember. So today's project kind of would have made my wedding prep very, very easy because it does have a snowflake theme, which is really cool. So go ahead and say hello in the comments. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you love snowflakes because today's projects are going to wow you then. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for saying hi. Now, as a reminder, the best compliment that you can give me is to share this video with your friends. So go ahead and share this video, and then you can also tag your friends in the comments. So just go ahead and invite them to watch along with you. It's always nice to see that you guys are enjoying what I'm showing and you want your friends to see it too. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna turn you around so you can see my hands and we can get started with the crafting part of today's episode. And this is what I call the awkward transition because I'm not super technologically savvy. The fact that I can do videos at all is, you know, a treat. Okay, there we go. So, today's product, why is this crooked? Let me just get this straight. Okay, today's product is in our mini catalog, and it's called the Wonderful Snowflakes. So this is them on page 25. They are $8.25, so a really affordable embellishment. And it comes with 24 of them, which is a lot. So it's really, really fun to be able to use these on your projects. And I'm going to show you some different ways that you can incorporate them. I have used these in some previous episodes, so let me just show you a couple of cards that you may have seen before. So here you can see is the snowflake just popped right out of the sheet. This is what they look like when they come in the full sheet. And then you get 6 different, no, that's not right. 4 sheets? 24 total, 6, yeah. So you can see that we've got an easy embellishment to be able to add as the focal point of your card. This particular one was an episode that I did all about spritzing. So you can see here that I spritzed the background and then embossed it. You'll have to go back and look for it. Apparently I was on a pink theme when it came to these cards because here you can see another one. This was one of my club projects this month. So if you're like, hey, what's a club? I have a group of people who commit to classes for the entire year, 10 months of the year, and they place a minimum $35 order and they automatically get 3 projects sent to them in the mail. And then they are very special to me. So they also get the $60 class that I send out if their orders reach 60. They don't have to spend 2 different orders, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you're interested, I do have a couple of spots you can DM me and I can send you some more details about that. So here again, you can see just on its own, but we're not going to just use it on your own. I'm going to show you some techniques today using these Snowflake Wishes cards. All right, so let's do our first project. So this one I've just cut off one of the snowflakes. So you can see the one side is iridescent. Can you see that in the video? Yes. And the other side is matte. So I'm going to use the matte side actually. I'm going to bring in a blending brush and I'm going to use some mint macaron ink. So we're going to pick that ink up with our blending brush and we're just going to go right over top of the snowflake. And I find it's easiest if you keep it inside its backing until you finish coloring. Just kind of holds it in place. So we're going to go all the way around, get all that coverage on there, like so. Have you guys been having a good Friday so far? I saw there's somebody watching from Australia. Is this the beginning or the end of your Friday? Or maybe you're on a different day altogether. I'm not sure actually. I've never been to Australia. It's on my list though. I really want to come visit. Okay, so there you can see we have now changed the snowflake from white to mint macaron. Now let me show you a little bit more about this project. So I'm going to bring in a piece from that same suite, and it's the Whimsical Wonder suite. And I've cut this paper to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. We're going to do a little bit of stamping on the background. So I've brought in the snowflakes from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. This is from the annual catalog. And we're going to use the mint macaron to add a few background snowflakes. Just kind of stamp it all the way around like that. Then I'm going to bring in some Just Jade marker and we're going to do that little splatter technique. So I'm just going to use my lid and I'm going to flick the ink onto the paper like that. Beautiful. Now I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. So I'm going to use my mini one so you can see it on the video here. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to cut it on an angle. And then I'm going to lay them out in the order that I cut it. So here's number 1. And we're going to do this one. Number 2. Number 3. Uh-oh. Do I have dirty fingers? I don't know why my paper cutter has my fingerprints all over it. And we're going to do number 4. Okay, so those are the pieces that we've cut. Okay, I'm just going to make sure my hands are clean here. Okay, then we're going to bring in a basic white piece that's the exact same size, so 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal, double-sided tape, and I'm going to add that to the back of the first one, and I'm going to stick it right on top. Just line up the edges like that. For the next one, I'm going to bring in some dimensionals, and I'm going to add a couple dimensionals to the back, like so, and pop that up. Now we're going to line it up with the paper that we already put down, like that. Let's bring in the next one. This one we're going to repeat with the Stampin' Seal. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? And then we're going to keep repeating that all the way down, like that. Okay? So here we've got our little snowflake, and I want you to be very careful. So it's attached in the corners here. So you want to just hold your thumb on the snowflake and then just gently pull it out. And that way you're not going to have any accidental tears. And I learned that the hard way, so learn from my errors. So this is going to go onto our card front like that. I also wanted to show you where I got the greeting from. This is probably my favorite Christmas greeting that came out this year. I really like that it's got some sort of whimsical greetings, really fun fonts, and this magic in the air I thought was really sweet. So when you're working with a light color like mint macaron, often Stampin' Up! Has a color that coordinates really closely but is the darker version. So I like to use the darker version, which in this case is Just Jade, to be able to add the greeting, and it just makes it pop a little bit more. So here you can see the magic is in the air greeting. Fun, right? Okay, let me show you the finished project with our Snowflake Wishes mint macaron flavor. Ready? Dun, 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 dun. So there you can see I've added some embellishments and some gold cord just to the center of it. And one of the things I wanted to point out, somebody had a genius moment when they designed these. If you notice the center, it is the exact shape of a Stampin' Dimensional. So the exact shape and size, so it makes it really, really easy to adhere to your project. So you just have to stick one in the center and then you're good. Super fun, right? Now I wanted to point this out here. Do you see those? Those were created using my shimmery crystal effects, and I made a puddle and then added a little bit of mint macaron coordinating ink refill. And then I used an old paintbrush and I just tapped those on there. So it creates that shimmery dimensional dots. So it makes it look almost like an embellishment that I've added to the page that coordinates. Yeah, Deanna, I know, right? There are so many great Christmas sets this year. Okay, let's move on to the next project. So I mentioned before, I'm very much into pink Christmas this year. I think it is because of that Whimsical Wonder suite. It is so beautiful. So let me bring in the next snowflake. So this one here, I wanted to use Stampin' Blends to color it pink because we're going to do another pink Christmas card. But I discovered something interesting. So the first time I tried coloring it right onto the iridescent side because Stampin' Blends will really hold on to any surface. That alcohol in them causes the pigment to stick to the surface, and then when the alcohol dries, it just stays. So it isn't going to come off. However, this is what I found happened when I colored that. Do you see how the pigment is uneven on the iridescent side? Okay, let me show you a way to color it so that the iridescent side is colored, but it looks even. So this is gonna be weird, and I discovered this by accident, so just bear with me. Flip it over to the matte side, just like we did with the mint macaron one. Now we're going to color it on the matte side with our Stampin' Blends. So this is Polished Pink, one of my favorite new in colors that came out this year. It is like so bright and cheerful and fun. So we're gonna go over top of the whole shebang, just like that. It's good to see you guys. I see all your names popping up. Hello, hello, hello. And again, as a reminder, if you want to share this video, that's a huge compliment to me and I really appreciate it. Okay, so we've just colored all the way through, okay? Now watch what happens when I flip it over. It goes through and it evenly colors it because it bleeds through the paper. I know, it's so cool. I was like, wait, what? So as a reminder, let me show you. I'm just gonna pop this out so that we don't have to look at my scribbling. Okay, so we're just gonna use, like I said before, just pull on the bigger part of the snowflake and detach it without tearing it. Okay. So look at the difference between this one and this one. Can you see that? Yeah, it's so much better when you color it from behind. So there you go. That's my tip on how to get the iridescent to stay, but have the color you want on the snowflake. Okay, let's go on to the project now. So you guys, I'm so infatuated with these scalloped contours dies. There's so many great sizes of these scalloped rectangles. And I just cut out a white one. So we're going to take that snowflake and we're going to layer it onto the project. So like I said, you can just stick that dimensional right behind the center, and then we're going to layer that just like so. Next, you're going to bring in a piece of that Whimsy and Wonder. Is that what it's called? I think so. And that's going to go onto your project just like this. I brought in those snowflakes one more time to be able to design the background. And I wanted to show you the ribbon that coordinates so beautifully then when you have the snowflake colored. So this one is the Polished Pink Open Weave ribbon. This is from the annual catalog. And I'm just going to bring in a bow tire. So this was handmade for me by one of my friends. If you wanted to, you could use a meat fork that has the tines, you know. You can put the ribbon on the opposite side of the pegs, switch hands. The one piece of the ribbon that's on the bottom is going to go through at the top, and the other piece is going to go through at the bottom. Then you're going to just pull the end so that it's tight, tie a knot, and then you can slide it off and you have this perfectly tied little bow. So I love that look of being able to use a glue dot and add it to the center of our snowflake. So now you have coordinating ribbon and snowflake, and then you can just trim off the ends to get it to the size that you want. Okay, so this is gonna go like that. Let me show you the finished project. So here we have our polished pink Christmas card. So again, like I said, I added those little snowflakes from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, but I also wanted to point out, do you guys see the dots that are in the background? So don't overlook this particular stamp. It's from the Cutest Halloween stamp, and it's this one. And it just is this teeny tiny little circle that you can add more texture to the background of your projects. I wanted to kind of bring in some bigger circles to kind of work with the opals that I've added here. Do you guys like it? Cute, right? So fun. Okay, we're gonna move on to the final project. This one is the PYP card. So if you're new here, the PYP card stands for Pee Your Pants card. And it's just so exciting that when you see how it's done, you kind of want to pee your pants. So I wanted to give a shout out to Charlotte Mallet, who I saw this card layout on Instagram, and it was from the Fancy Friday layout challenge, and so it inspired me to create this particular card which you're about to see. Okay, we're going to bring in our iridescent snowflake, and again, I'm just going to turn it over to the matte side. It just makes it a little bit more grippy for ink. I'm going to use Versamark, and I'm going to apply that directly to our snowflake. So we're gonna go all the way around, make sure it's all shiny. Next, I'm going to bring in silver embossing powder. What? I know. Stunning. We're going to sprinkle that over top. And then we're going to bring in our heat tool. Are you guys peeing your pants yet? I know. Okay, so we're gonna heat this up. So Versamark is a really sticky ink. It's the one that will help the embossing powder, which is like really, really fine plastic granules, stick to the project. And then you need to use a heat tool, which is very, very, very hot like an oven, to be able to emboss the project. I'm gonna emboss the edges just because if I don't, then it gets really messy, because once the ink dries, it won't stay there anymore. So you'll have little embossing speckles everywhere in your craft space. So we're just gonna make sure that that's all embossed. And I personally really like to have a thick embossing. So I'm going to do one more layer. So we're just gonna add a bit more Versamark. We're gonna bring back in that tray, and we're gonna sprinkle that over our snowflake. Just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna do it one more time. Is anybody dressing up for Halloween this weekend? What are you gonna dress up as? All of my Halloween costumes are still in storage, so I don't have a costume ready, but we're gonna be handing out treats. I was really lucky. My friend gave me some wooden decorative pumpkins to put on my front step, because I wouldn't have had any decorations this year either. You guys know I've been moving, right? And renovating. Yeah. Okay, look at how beautiful that embossing powder is. And that second coat just makes it look like it's actually cut out of metal. So now we're going to do that technique where we just gently pull out the longer pieces of the snowflake. And there we have our embossed snowflake. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now I'm going to bring in one of the designer series papers that has the silver built into it already. So it's got the silver foil and the snowflakes. This is from the cabin one. I can't remember what it's called. You guys probably know. And we're going to bring in 3 tags. So these tags were cut out using the die tailor-made tags. So I just ran it through the Big Boss and I used the little tag to get those 3. So now I'm going to use some snowflakes again from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. You've got all sorts of sizes here to work with. So I've got a couple of sizes here. And I'm going to use Memento so that I've got a nice crisp black snowflake. So we're going to do a couple here. And we're going to do one over here. Oh, Lindsay, why did you not stamp it properly? Let's see if I can fix it. Oh, this is risky. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my basic black. And I'm just going to line them all up so that the pattern kind of works together. And we're going to do that little splatter technique. So with the cap, press the tip against the cap, and then you get that splatter. Perfect. Okay, let's bring back in that designer series paper. And now we're going to use our dimensionals to add it to the project. Now, when you have a set of 3 and you're wanting to add it to your card, I'd recommend starting with your middle piece because then you can always work around the spacing of the middle one. So we're going to put that one here. And then we'll do the top one like so. And the bottom one. So pretty. Okay. Now we're going to add our little snowflake. And again, you can just use that center piece and line up your dimensional. And then we're going to stick that right here. So I'm going to do this one on an angle. Like that. Isn't that fun? Now, the nice thing about Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper is that it is double-sided. So if you want, you can always kind of show off the other side by bending in the corners. So this one here, I'm just going to kind of do this. And one of the things I like to do, this is kind of cheater, but it just makes it stay better, is I roll up a dimensional and I just stick that underneath like that. And then I do the same thing for the little flappy that's here. And that just helps it so that it stays where you want it to be. And you can kind of like scrunch it if you want it to look more like that. We can do the same thing on the top. Now, I really like the Banner Year stamp set for having a variety of greetings. So if you're somebody who's looking to get an all occasion stamp set to work with the classes that I send you for free with your $60 order, this is a good one to consider because it gives you a little bit of everything, even to be able to make tags. And then it also has these little ones here. You can use them to decorate your envelopes or to add a little bit of background, just like we've been doing with those little snowflakes. Okay, are you guys ready to see the finale of the PYP card? Show me lots of hearts. And here we go. Isn't that beautiful? So I've just added the black matte dots to kind of bring out some of the speckle. And then I've used the Christmas wishes again from the Banner Year. Here you can see is that gorgeous snowflake that we've created with the silver embossing powder. It's so pretty, right? Yeah, I think any of your friends would be happy to receive a card that looks like this. It makes it look like you've worked very hard, and really, you and I are the only ones who know that it wasn't that difficult. So let me show you the 3 projects one more time. So again, using the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, you can do using your blending brushes. You can use your Stampin' Blends, but color from the back so that you get an even coloring, or you could use your embossing powder with silver. I'm going to flip you around so we can chat face to face one more time before I say goodbye. Hello. There we go. That's better. Yeah, happy Friday. So just as a reminder, I have 4 more Christmas card classes that are using these Sweet Stockings Sweet. That's a really hard one to say. Sweet Stockings Sweet. Let me show you a couple of sneak peeks. You guys want to see it? Just a sec. Okay. So these are the cards that you're getting for free with your $60 order before the shipping and tax. I only have 4 left, so you're gonna wanna get it in right away. So here's number 1, using felt. Oh my gosh. Here is number 2 with a frayed ribbon technique. Here is number 3, fussy cutting out our sweet little dog. And here's my favorite, and you're gonna know why. Look at that little golden retriever. Oh my gosh. So you get all of the supplies to be able to complete those, with the exception of you'll need basic adhesive supplies like dimensionals and mini glue dots and Stampin' Seal. You'll need a greeting set, and in this particular case, we used the one that goes with that suite. And you'll need a neutral ink pad, so a memento would work. Make sense? Yeah, if you have questions, let me know. So you guys enjoy your Friday. Happy Halloween. Oh my gosh, happy Halloween. I hope you guys get lots of trick-or-treaters and you have some fun, and maybe you like to dress up, or maybe you like to hide in your basement when people are ringing your doorbell. Hey man, I don't judge. You can do whatever makes you feel good. Happy Friday. I hope you enjoyed today's projects. Feel free to share this video. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.